Take a big breath in and reach it out and stretch those morning stretchies. Oh, feels good. One more each side. And then let's make our circles, loosening everything up. And the other way. 2, 3, 4. And let's do some lazy backstroke arms. Start waking up those shoulders. 6, 8, 9, 10. And we'll go into elbow circles. 6, 2 more. And let's go into softball pitches. Why not? Why not mix up the whole order of everything that we do in the morning? 3, 4, 5. And let's switch sides. To change of routine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, and 8. And then just shimmy those shoulders. Make sure you weren't sleeping funny on them. And twist it out. Okay, hands on hips. We'll pop our hips out side to side, tick-tock. And let's go doubles. Double. Really get that movement in there. See if you can feel that stretch in the groin area, inner thigh. One more set. And then hula hoops. 2, 3. Snap, crackle, pop. Here we go. And reverse direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And figure eights. Moving down the body. 4, 5, 6, and reverse. 2, 4, 5, 6. Good. Let's take one knee up and out, and the other knee up and out. Hands can be wherever you want them. 8, last set. And let's hug our knees into our chest. Let your lower back round and flatten or straighten. Go back to neutral. Really, all I'm saying is it's okay when your knee comes up to let your lower back tuck under. Let's do one more, and then we'll go into butt kicks. So reach and pull, or do some bicep curls, or hold your hands on your hips, doesn't matter. This is my old step aerobics days. It's always reach and pull and butt kicks, or hamstring curls. Let's do about 10 more, get them nice and warm. 3, 4, 5, 6. And shake it out. And we'll bring our hands down onto our knees and circle the circle. 4, 6, and reverse direction. 5, 6. And let's just isolate those ankles. Circling, circling, circling. And switch sides. Snap, crackle, pop. Hopefully it's not just my side. Okay. Let's take our feet nice and wide. And we'll come into a side lunge. I just pushed forward into my knee, my heel came up. It's a reminder to sit back into your heel. Sit back, and glide side to side. Excuse me. And then coming to center. Let's drop one shoulder down and then the other shoulder. Last set. And sink it down. We have a bunch of squats and lunges coming, so let's get our legs nice and warm. We want to think about the knees pushing back. Getting a nice big stretch. And then from here, let's take our arms up and stand, and we'll do 5 fold squat. Reach and stand, squat, reach and stand for 1, fold, squat, reach, stand for 2, fold, squat, reach, stand for 3, squat, reach, stand, 4, fold, squat, reach, and stand. Nice. Okay. Let's come onto one foot for balance. Take the other foot out, point your toe down. Hold on for balance if you need to. And we'll wiggle those toes. Bonus points if you can take your top layer off while you're balancing and wiggling your foot. There we go. And then we're going to rotate from the hip. So we're lifting with the inner thigh, heel, and inner ankle coming up to the ceiling. And let's switch sides. So side 2, let's point that toe down, wiggle it, turn it in towards your midline. And then we're going to rotate from the hip, lifting with the inner thigh, inner ankle and heel coming up to the ceiling. And shake it out. Swing your arms, grab a drink of water. I need to set my watch. I always forget to do that. If you've got a fitness tracker, turn it on. Got to keep track, everything counts. Okay, so day 2, our first activity is every minute on the minute. We started off, I think we did it twice. Last week we did it 3 times. We're going to go through it 4 times, which means we have 8 minutes of work. You do you. If you're getting tired after a couple of rounds and can't quite do all the reps by the time you get to 3 and 4, that's okay. Do what you can. Just make sure you have a good little, 15 seconds or so before you go into the next move. So we're going to start with our lunges. They can be reverse lunges. They can be forward lunges, whatever floats your boat today. And we're going to start in 5 seconds. So I can keep my head wrapped around the time, and let's go. 2, so 10 on each side. $18, $19, we're at 30 seconds. So finish your set. If you're done, you have 30 seconds off. If you're not quite done, keep going. Round 1 is a good one. Notice how you're feeling. You have that time before the next round starts, which is 10 seconds. Stretch, move, drink, whatever you need. 5 seconds, we go into squats. 3, 2, 1. So 10 squats. And that takes significantly less time, working both legs at the same time. I have hair on me. Shake it out, catch your breath, grab a drink. If you're thinking 4 rounds of this, easy peasy, let's get through today, see how you feel. And next week, we can add resistance. So we have about 20 seconds left. Circle out your feet. Check out how your toes are feeling. Let's do some calf raises. And I was feeling those lunges in my toes. Don't know why. We'll get them all warmed up. And we'll start with our lunges again in 3, 2, 1, and go. 2, 10 on each side. 6, 8, 10. 19 and 20. Good to know for future reference. You're zipping through them. 20 lunges takes about 30-35 seconds. Nice work. Okay. So 10 more seconds. Catch your breath. These kind of build. First round's not so bad. Second round, not so bad. 3 and 4, we'll see. And 3, 2, 1. 10 squats. Show me what you got. Pressing into your whole foot, sitting back onto a stool. 8, 9, and 10. Then shake it out and grab a drink. Circle your ankles out. Notice what you're feeling. We still have 15 seconds. Going into round 3. Mix it up. If you're doing reverse lunges, try front lunges. If you've been doing front lunges, try reverse lunges. See if you're warming up for doing a different pattern. And here we go. Make sure you've got good form. You don't have to touch your knee to the floor. Nice. Oh, time flies. Are we having fun yet? Okay. I'm going to add a little resistance to my squats. Maybe I'll make my bike ride feel a little spicier tomorrow. Haha. Here we go. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And we still have 35 seconds. I can feel my heart rate coming up. Hopefully you have your heart rate up too. 30 seconds enough to walk it off. Bring it down just a little bit. Go into your next activity. Give your legs a little chance to recover. We're working them in different ways, but it builds. Really builds. So we have 10 more seconds. Honoring the clock, not the, I'm going to get this over with as fast as I can. Okay, last round. And go. and 20. Good, nice. Sink those knees down. Both knees bending. Maybe your lunge is becoming a little more of a stretchy lunge than a strengthening lunge. That's okay. We have 10 seconds. Last set of squats. And let's hit it. Last 10 squats. Make them pretty. 3. Good. 8 looks good. 9 and 10. Yahoo! Shake it off. Grab a drink. Twist it out. And we're going to go into something very completely different. Very next set. So we have our lower trap Y raises off a bench or chair and our bear crawls. So emphasis is leaving our lower body, except for what you feel in your quads during the bear crawls, and a lot more on what your shoulders, your arms are doing. That's a great idea. Let's open up those hips. So for our Y raises, working on lower traps, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 2 pounds, no weight. If you're using no weight, make a fist and lock your arm out and keep that tension. It's the same principle, it's the same feeling. You can still train it. You're just not going to challenge it quite the same way. So we have athletic stance, one arm down on the bench, and release that arm down to the floor. Let's do a couple of circles. Just get that pendulum going. Let me adjust my camera. There we go. So your shoulders should feel nice and loose. We're going to pack it into the socket, retract the shoulder blade, lift with the straight arm, lower, release. Retract, lift, lower, and release. We're going to go for 10 to 15. You know what your shoulder and your back can take. Or you're learning what your shoulder and your back can take. Just remember you're retracting, lifting, using your back muscles, lowering, release. Retract, lift, lower, release. Arm is locked out. It's like having a weight on the end of a pole that your back is trying to lift up. I have 2 more. 14. With the less used parts of our muscles, sometimes it is more helpful to do more repetitions with lighter weight and build the endurance of those muscles than to overwhelm them with a heavier weight. So same thing on side 2. And remember, we're lifting in a Y pattern, which from your shoulders is like a V. So you're not going straight in front. You're not coming out to the side. You're going out on that 45-degree angle. So let's relax the arm. Pull the arm in, retract the shoulder blade, lift, lower, release. Lift, lower, release. The most important part is that retraction. That's how you're engaging your back muscles. If it feels like it's all coming from your arm or your shoulder, either drop the weight or focus on that retraction. Make sure you're engaging your back muscles. Whew, and I've lost count. I'll do 5 more. If you're done, you're done. You can watch me. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's take a break before we come down on the ground. So when I'm watching you, if you are lifting and you can only do it with a bent arm, you're trying to lift with your arm and your back muscles aren't engaging. The stronger your mid-back muscles are through here, the easier it will be to have the support to lift a straight arm up. So I can't always see both sides of the people who are here. And if you're watching this after the fact, I can't see you at all, of course. So just clue into that, look in the mirror, peek, and see if you have trouble. If there's no problem that prevents you, physical problem that prevents you from straightening your arm, check in and see if you're really engaging those back muscles. That makes all the difference in the world. How high you can lift, how straight your arm will be when you lift. So let's come down on the floor. We have been doing bear crawl cha-chas. Last week we did 6. This week we're going to bump up to 8. Next week I think we might mix it up a little bit. Okay, so set up for the bear crawl is hands and knees. Inhale, exhale, lift your knees up off the floor and let's get going. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. And darn tootin', going backwards is the hardest part. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice work. Sink down into child's pose and let your back and shoulders stretch. Let your neck and shoulders relax. And then let's just sit up and stretch out our shoulders just a little bit. Maybe when we get to the third set, I'll show you the preview for next week. We're going to add weights to our bear crawls. Hopefully it doesn't scare you. You have to leave the workout right now. But that's next week. Let's get set up. Roll your shoulders, grab your light weights or no weights. Remember, if you're doing this with the fist, you want to have all that tension in your arm, just like you would if you were holding onto a weight. And let's go. Lift, lower, release, retract, lift, lower, release. If you're doing 15 reps with the light weight, next week would be the time to see if you can go just a little bit higher. That doesn't mean jumping from 3 pounds to 8 pounds. If you've got a 5-pounder, that would be a reasonable increase. Going from 2 to 3 is a reasonable increase. You shouldn't need to do more than 5 to 8 pounds for this, but don't jump your weights because we've got little muscle or less used muscles we want to take care of. Good. Retract, lift, lower, release, lift, lower. And I've lost count. A couple of people still going. Good. Take your time. And we'll go to the other side when you're ready. So let that arm shake out. Retract that shoulder blade towards your spine. Lift, lower, release. Retract, lift. lift, lower, release. I have a few more. A couple of people still going too. Good. Take your time. 14, I have one more. And up. So things you'll notice when those back muscles, those specific back muscles get stronger. If you have trouble reaching up, I come down to where you can see me, reaching up and pulling your hands a little bit back behind your ears without arching your back, that's going to become easier. Sometimes when you can't lift up, or you lift up and you can only do it with your arms bent, barring elbow injuries, shoulder injuries that limit your motion, you'll find that improves. So let's go into our bear crawl cha-chas. Round your back, cat-cow. Find that position where you're nice and strong through the shoulders, hugging your arms into your sides. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost done. Last one. 8. And back. And sink it down. Whoosh. Into child's pose. Move your back side to side. Shift your hips. Move organically. Take about 30 seconds of a stretch before we finish up with our last round. Cool. Let's get up. Let's find our places again. Weight or no weight. You can grab a quick drink. Okay. Take your arm dangle, retract, lift, release, and so it begins. Retract, lift, lower, release. Good. I like what I'm seeing. Good work. Good work, good work. Let's go to the other side. Retract, lift, lower, release. Lift, lower, release. Retract, lift, release. Hopefully you have that mantra in your head. And 3 more. If you're done, you're done. Let's put our weights down. Swing your arms. Give your shoulders a little love, a little rest before we go into our last round of bear crawls. I'm not going to give you a preview of next week because my shoulders are pretty tired right now. So just know our bear crawls, we're not going to keep increasing the repetitions. We're going to increase the challenge for the repetitions that we do. Okay. I know some of you said going backwards is enough of a challenge. We can do better than that. So our last set of 8 bear crawl cha-chas. Inhale to prepare, hug those arms into your sides, lift your knees and hit it. And 1. And 2. And 3. 4. 5. Breathe. 6. Almost there. Woohoo, I'm feeling it too. 8. Coming up. Finishing strong. Down into child's pose and rest. Good work. Okay, come on up onto your knees. Let's stretch out the chest and the front of your shoulders. Hands behind your back. Lift them up if you can. We're going to take about a minute. And I'm going to grab a drink and introduce you or remind you. Our next set is shoulder work, front and side raises. We're doing side lunges, and we're going to do standing crunches. Okay, so for the front and the side raises, light weights, just since I can find all my weights. And we're going to go for about 12 total. So we'll start lifting out to the side and then up to the front. You can get fancy if you want. Just make sure you're not arching to get that front lift up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. When you get to 12, it's not 12 on each side, it's 12 total, or 12 of each kind rather. It's 12 total. Roll your shoulders. Take your feet nice and wide. Kind of go side to side. Warm them up a little bit. Going in a different direction. One weight in your hand. We're going to see if we can switch sides. So we're going to sink down into a side lunge and reach up overhead. Switch hands. Go to the other side. Reach up to a press. Switch hands. I'm going to adjust my camera. Keep going. Or a little hand switch in the middle. 9, 12, 14. For me, this is 15. And this is 16. That's 8 on each side. So we're going to keep that weight, or you can drop your weight, go a little bit lighter. So we're going to keep the weight up in the air and kind of goalpost arms. And we're going to go into our side crunches or standing crunches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, switch sides. Woo, rack that weight and crunch. 2, 3, 4, ribs to hips. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice work, weight down. Shake your arms out, shake your shoulders out. It's kind of a shoulder intensive set. It's okay, strong shoulders are important, especially if we can keep them healthy while we're getting them stronger. Okay. Oh, let's go 30 more seconds. Let your shoulders repopulate those muscles with their mitochondria and the ATP. Stretch. See what feels good for you. Maybe the front of your shoulders are tired and need a stretch. Maybe your back needs a stretch. Maybe it's the back of your shoulders that needs a stretch. Maybe it's your whole body that's ready for a stretch. That's coming. Not quite yet. All right, let's grab our weights. Set 2. Front and side raised. Split stance helps keep you from arching your back. So 12, 11, 10, good, 9, 8, everybody's getting fancy except me. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But you guys know I'm number challenged I can be. And so if I start doing something like that and I'm out of sync with you, the numbers are going to fly out of my head. Not that they're important, but I don't like getting so mixed up. So if your shoulders are getting tired, turn this into a bicep curl. Otherwise, let's stick with the press. And we'll go 1, 2, 3. Remember in that lunge, chest up, eyes up. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. This is what the bicep curl looks like. And 16. Good. Good. So your choice, I'm going to go a little bit lighter for those crunches. You can go lighter or no weight. We're going to do external side crunches. So instead of going across your body, we're going to stay to the outside. So I'm not doing this to the front. We're going out to the side. Bonus points, if you can keep your foot off the ground and make it a balancing crunch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nice job, and 10, beautiful work. Adding the balance really increases the challenge. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're fair if you tell me that it's cruel to put a balance challenge at the end of the workout. It is. So if you're feeling more wobbly than you like, it's probably only because you're getting to the end of the workout. We have one more round. Then we have our plank challenge and we are done. Stick with me. Keep working. Let's grab our weights. And let's not go right into it. Let's do a little bit of a shoulder stretch. So do our side bends, let the weights gently pull on your shoulder. One more each side. And then I'm gonna watch you. You can try to confuse me. We'll see if it happens. Let's go for 12 sets. Up. 1, 2, 3. Looks good. 4. You don't need to lift higher than your shoulder. 10, 11, and 12. Good. One weight down. You can go heavier, lighter, no weight, overhead press, or a bicep curl. I'm going to do this last set with bicep curls. So let's lunge it out to the side for 1, 2. All depends on how your shoulders are feeling. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep your chest up, eyes up. 14, 15. And last one. Okay. So for a crunch flavor, I'm actually going to go even lighter. I'm doing 5 pounds, but we're going to do both arms up at the same time in goalpost position. So if you want to go lighter or no weights, totally appropriate. So our arms are going to say goalpost, and kind of like we've done before, the rotation is all in your rib cage. So we're going to be marching with the rotation, but we're not really crunching. We're still getting that twist in. So you can start marching your knees forward and then add the upper body twist. Okay, looks good. Well, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. So our very last thing is the plank with around the world. Leg lifts, arm lifts, on your wrists, on your elbows, doesn't matter. We started with 30 seconds. Last week we did 40. This week we're going to do 50. Let's give our shoulders a little chance to chill before we come back down on the floor. And once we're down on the floor, we're staying on the floor. Last little bit of work. If you still got it in you, show me what you've got. If you're done, you're done. You can take those 50 seconds and come into child's pose or stretch, and we'll meet you as soon as we're done. I know I'm feeling it in front of my shoulders. I don't want anyone getting hurt. So listen to your body. We still have 20 seconds. I'm just going to reach forward and stretch my back a little bit. And we'll set up in our plank. And we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So leg lift, keep your legs wide, arm, arm, leg, leg, arm, arm. You don't have to race through this. Find your stability. See how you're using your glutes, your abs, your shoulders, your chest, your back. Almost there. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come into child's pose. And thank your shoulders for getting you through this workout. It'll take about 30 seconds. It feels better to have your hands down by your feet or your arms reaching in front, up to you. Your stretch, give your body what it needs. Let your heart rate come down. And then let's come up onto our hands and knees. And come up on your knuckles if your wrists are done in. And let's make some big restorative hip circles. And we'll go the other way. One. Okay, from here, let's do a little cat-cow. So tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin, round your back up as high as you can up to the ceiling and hold it. Breathing, expanding through your ribcage. And then reverse that. Lengthen through your spine, lift your tailbone, lift the crown of your head. Let your shoulders come together. So the slow motion version. Let's go a little faster. So inhale up. I guess it's exhale. Never mind, just breathe. I'm not going to think about which way you need to breathe to do this. Oh, it's hard enough to talk. Here we go. Let's come up into half kneeling when you're ready. So the proposal position, squeeze that booty, press it forward, and lean into that front leg. Hold it. If your foot's closer to, it depends on your ankles. As you push your knee forward, you can get a nice big calf stretch, but that might just be me. Let's take your leg out a little bit farther forward so you can glide between a hip flexor stretch, making sure that butt is squeezed and sliding back into a hamstring stretch. So nice and dynamic, but slow. Not forcing anything. One more. And then let's take that front knee out to the side. So the knee that's down is still down. We're taking the other knee out 90 degrees. Take your opposite hand down. So the knee that's down is the hand that's down. One arm reaches up. And we're going to stretch through with a big rotation. Imagine you're pulling a rope and come back up. We'll do 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch legs. So squeeze that booty. If you push forward, you're only going to go an inch, but the stretch is on the front of your hip. So let's hang out here. If you want to lift your arm up, it helps feel like a bigger stretch. And then walk that foot out a little farther so you can maybe sink into it a little bit deeper. You're going to feel it more on the back of your front leg, but especially when we glide back into that hamstring stretch. So if you need support, hold on to a piece of furniture near you, reach for the floor. Alrighty, and then let's take that leg out to the side. So if you're on the right side, the right leg is out to the side, left arm comes down. Let's do 5 pulls, thread the needle through, grab the rope, pull it up to the ceiling. And 4. And 3. And 2. Last one. Nice. Let's have a seat. Oh, the sun's coming in, funny angle. Okay, so let's come into a half straddle or a half hurdle. Sitting up tall on your sit bones, we're going to rotate over your straight leg and reach. Let your back and your shoulders stretch. We're going to hang out here for just a little bit. Every time you exhale, see if you can relax into that stretch just a little bit more. And you can think about bringing your hands towards your toes. You can also think about bringing your chest a little bit closer to your thigh. Reaching for the outside of your ankle. We got about 15, 20 more seconds here. See if you can relax into it. If your legs are shaking, if your back is saying stop, ease out of it. You gotta listen to your body when you're stretching so you don't overstretch and pull something. Okay, and then if your right leg is out straight, we're going to take your left arm up and behind. Turn your feet in and lift up into a modified half bridge and stretch the other side of your body. So add 10 more seconds. Breathe, look up. Feel your ribcage expand, and then bring that hip down, and we'll switch sides. So right now my left leg is sticking out. You might be on the same side or the other side. We're going to rotate over that leg and reach. Let your back relax. If it wants to relax, my back doesn't feel like it wants to relax, but we're going to hang out here and see if it does. Takes a good 30 seconds for those muscles to release, if they're going to. Okay, 5 more seconds. Good. And then let's bring the right arm up and behind and come up into that modified half bridge. Looking up at the ceiling. Inhaling, letting your ribcage expand. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring that hip down. Let's roll onto our backs. Bring our knees into our chest and make some circles. And we'll circle both directions. Let's take your left ankle over your right knee. So we'll do a piriformis stretch. Reach behind your right thigh and try to push your left knee away from you as you pull your right leg in. So you can do that with one hand pulling, one hand pushing. You could do it with both hands pulling and your left elbow pushing. Or you could just be satisfied with whatever you can get, if you can even get into the position. I totally understand that. Because we're going to go to side 2, which is my tighter side. So switch to right ankle over left knee and pull your left leg in and see if you can push your right knee away and get that stretch deep, deep, deep in that right hip. Now let's bring our knees together and roll onto our left side together. Use your left hand to hold your knees in place. Reach with your right arm and let's open like a book and let your shoulders stretch. Try to bring that right shoulder down to the floor. If it feels like you're a mile away from the floor, close your arms again and open them up. Make it a little more dynamic. Shimmy your shoulders a little bit. You want to make sure your knees are tucked up. Let your chest and shoulders stretch. You might even feel that all the way down your arm. You can make a fist, do some wrist circles, kind of make that whole line of tissue stretching complete. And then gradually come back to center. Let's stop here for just a minute. Take your knees side to side. 3, 5, 7, 8. And then we'll come all the way over onto our right side. Use your right hand to hold your knees in place. Stretch forward with your left arm and open like a book. And you know, there's some days when your shoulders want to hit the floor, and there's some days when they don't. So don't force anything and don't place any value or judgment on it. It is what it is. We worked a lot of shoulders today. If they're tighter than usual, that could be why. And then let's come onto our backs again. Stretch your arms long over your head, stretch your feet long in front of you, nice long pencil stretch. And then let's come up to sitting. And we are out of time. You can stretch some more on your own, but great work this morning. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.